But yeah, go ahead and read it.
Revelations 13 and 16, he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. 17, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of man, and its number is 666.
Right. So that's what it is. It's the RFID chip. So that word mark is charagma, which means to be pierced. Now, to back that up, is in the book of Exodus. You can bring it out. Exodus 21 and verse 6. 21 and 6 in Exodus. To back up that to be pierced and pricked with the instrument is a form of servitude, an allegiance, making a pact. All right, with somebody. Esau ain't done that yet. You know, he used credit cards, IDs, Social Security, birth certificate, but that's not enough, man. The prophecy wasn't ready for it to be filled like we are now. Most High's prophecy is being fulfilled. It's already here. The mark of the beast, the RFID chip is here. Vera chip is here.
This is Exodus chapter 21, verse 6. Then his master shall bring him unto the judges. He shall also bring him to the door, or unto the door post, and his master shall bore his ear.
Shall bore his ear
through with an avel.
Yep.
And he shall serve him forever.
Shall bore his ear with the awl. Something right. AUL. It's AUL in here. That's if he isn't you. So it's all.
It has you on this one. So.
It doesn't?
Yeah, it's AULE.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Now, I'm gonna look up that word. The blue letter. If you want to read it one more time.
Exodus chapter 21, verse 6. And his master shall bring him unto the judges. He shall also bring him to the door.
And he's talking about his servant. If you read up the prior verses, that's talking about a servant. The master bringing him is that servant.
Or unto the doorpost, and his master shall bore his ear throughout with an awl, and he shall serve him forever.
Right, so the word awl here in the H4836, it's maratazai, right? Maratazai, which the outline of biblical usage is awl, AWL, boring instrument. So he's pricking his ear. Right? Read that one more time.
He shall also bring him to the door, and unto the door post, and his master shall bore his ear through with an awl.
So he shall bore his ear through with an awl, man. Alright? Which represents that servitude. Now the word bore, there is ratazai. It says to bore, pierce of the ear. Alright, to bore. So it's to pierce. Go back to Revelations 13. Read that part where it's talked about the mark.
This is Revelations 13 and 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads.
Right, to receive a mark in the right hand or in the foreheads. So that word mark there is charagma, but I'm going to read the definition for the word bore. It says, The blue letter said pierce, but here it says with object make a hole in something, especially with a revolving tool. To hollow out a tube or tunnel, try to bore the tunnel or the correct angle. So they're gonna put a hole in you, man. They're gonna prick you through your flesh and insert that device. Okay? So going back, what was it, Revelation 13, and what was the verse?
16.
Verse 16. I'm gonna look up that word mark, which is a physical mark, man. Just like they did a physical piercing on that servant in Exodus 21. This is the G5480 Charagma. It says a stamp, an imprinted mark, a thing of mark stamped on the forehead or right hand as a badge of the followers of the Antichrist. So they know that much. They know that is as an allegiance. It's a thing that is going to show you that you're pledging allegiance to this world, the current world system. The mark branded upon horses, a thing carved, sculpture, graven work of idolatrous images. Like I said, that device, the RFID chip, is an idol. You got to get that shit out of your head of an idol that is a likeness of men or of a creepy thing or an animal, man. All right, it says in the Strong's definition for charagma, a scratch or etching that is stamped as a badge of servitude or sculpture, figure, statue. That's not what it's talking about. It's not talking about a sculptured figure, okay? It's talking about that, what we all know is the size of a grain of rice, man. You know? So, I'm gonna look up right here at the etymology. All right, it says the etymology for charax, which is it says in the outline of biblical usage, a pell or stake. Let me look up that word, pell. Let's go into color. Okay, yeah, right here. Pell, now the first definition is the pels of a fence, stake, post, pole, picket, upright. So something is being thrust through, like the bore. They're boring a hole into you. So they're going to stab you and that's it. They're not just going to stab you and they're going to put something inside there. Whenever their ear was pierced, they didn't just put a hole there. They would put like an earring. They would put something there to show, to signify, to solidify that was that master servant. That everybody that saw him knew that he belonged to that servant or to that master. Going back with the chips, the same thing, man. Right. The RFID chip, and that RFID chip is the only way you can be able to buy or sell. It's not like you just can put anything in your flesh. You can't just put anything in your flesh like, oh, I got the mark of the beast. No, it's an actual, it's a certain thing that has the ability to make transactions. If you don't have it, you can't eat. You can't go and buy food like we do right now with your credit card. Anytime, any day. Without that shit, you can't do that shit, man. You gotta think, man. And that was through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai for having the elders of Great Millstone to show us this truth, man.
That's right. And
still holding on to it. And not be like these other camps, not telling them what the mark of the beast is. Telling them it's John 3:16, like Zabak tells his congregation, but tells them that he won't take the chip. But he won't say if it is or not. You know what I'm saying? But he won't take it. Why don't you want to take it? To me, it sounds like there's doubt. You don't want to take it because you know deep down in your heart there's a possibility that is the mark of the beast, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Like the brother had brought out one of his breakdowns. Whenever he was doing that breakdown, and he was saying those that don't take the mark of the beast, they're going to be punished. All right, which is true. But the way he was bringing it out was saying, look at the Latinos, look how they're suffering. But you go to those Latin tribes, and that's what they're doing, man. They're worshiping Christianity. They're worshiping in Catholicism. You know, all these places that he was bringing out, it wasn't making any sense, man. You know. But also adding on to that word 666, chai, stigma is what it says in the Greek. And stigma, as we know, is to state. To state. That's what stigma means.
Yeah, it's like you got the stigmata when the piercings appear, or the wounds appear on the hands because it's being pricked with something, being pricked or bored through with something. You know, and that's the 666. You know, like the brother was saying, I don't know how to pronounce them, but that's those three letters of the Greek, right? If I'm not mistaken. But where you at?
Let me bring this one out of Leviticus.
Go ahead.
This is Leviticus 19 and 28. Ye shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead, nor print any marks upon you. I am Yahweh.
Hey, and Esau's dead, man. Esau's a dead man. You know what I'm saying? He's the head of the dead of the congregation of the dead, man. Why are you gonna be making marks for the dead? He's a dead man. Right now, he's walking as a fugitive, man, a vagabond, wanted. You ever watch the movie Green Mile? They say a dead man walking. That's how Esau is. He's a dead man walking, man. But you're not supposed to be making any markings in your flesh. No tattoos. You're not even supposed to be getting a scratch or a cut in your flesh, man, because your body is your temple, man. That's how holy the Most High made us. We ain't supposed to be having no scars. You know? The blood is supposed to stay in. We ain't supposed to be walking on hard ass floor, on fucking dirt, stepping on a rock, bumping our pinky toe on the motherfucking bed, or whatever, man. That shit hurts. That shit fucking. I hit my little toe the other day, man, like maybe 3 weeks ago. Man, I was pissed, and I was fucking. Hey, and then you got guys out there thinking they're gonna survive Jacob in the time of Jacob's trouble, man. You fucking hit that pinky toe, you're out. You can't run.
That's right.
You're fucking hurt. That's how that pinky toe, man.
I remember when
fucked up. God, my homeboys just said a bird's eye view, man. You know? Fucking toe, yeah. Toes go through some fucking shit. What were you gonna say?
No, I remember whenever I would hit my pinky toe, man. I haven't done it in a while, but man, that shit hurt more than a breakup, you know? You don't even know what to do when you get hit, man. You just
I grabbed my foot. I pulled my foot up to me and I looked at that motherfucker. Make sure that shit wasn't broke. I think I fucked it up because that shit still hurts somewhere up in there. But you know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't even supposed to be doing none of that, man. So the scriptures, read it again.
Which one? Leviticus?
Yeah, if you pull it back up. We ain't supposed to be making any markings in our flesh. You got all these tattoo parlors. All this shit that's going on is just a prelude to taking the chip, man. These cell phones. You know what I'm saying? The tattoos, piercings. It's like I told the brother Yaqubal that was with me. He had his ears pierced and I was like, man, just get rid of that shit, man. You know what I'm saying? All that shit is vanity, man. It lifts people up in pride. You know what I'm saying? Like, all that shit's worldly, man.
It's Leviticus 19 and 28. Ye shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead, nor print any marks upon you. I am Yahweh.
Nor print any marks. You know? So you're not supposed to be doing none of that shit, man. You ain't supposed to they're not talking about getting a pen or some paint. It's talking about actually etching in, and you're drawing blood, man. You're drawing blood out of your flesh. You know, the brother, I think it was the brother Shahar, the Dallas cat, saying that right there, you're making a blood covenant, man. You're drawing blood, and blood is there to make. You got to have blood there to make that contract for real, man. To solidify that contract, blood has to be drawn, and it's true because the Most High did that with us. Blood had to be spilled in order for us to be brought back to Him, to solidify that covenant, that promise, to make it legit, man. It tells you that in the book of Hebrews. If you want to say anything or want to bring something down.
Let me just bring this out real quick. This is Revelations chapter 16. And I'm going to do the 3 verses. Start off at 1. And I heard a great voice out of the temple saying to the 7 angels, go your ways and pour out the vials of the wrath of our power upon the earth. And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sword upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worshipped the image. And the second angel poured out his vial upon the sea, and it became as blood of a dead man, and every living soul died in the sea. That mark, you know, that microchip, you already know how unstable Esau's technology is. You know, I'll be on the blue letter, you know, looking up words, and it'll just completely kick me out. It's unstable. So that chip that he's trying to control you with, it's unstable, man. Even the makers of it had said that it's so unstable that it causes a big sword to come up on your hand. And that's what Revelations is talking about, man. That sword that's going to come out, and it's going to mark you guys, basically.
And also, it's a foreign object in the body, and the body's so advanced. The Most High developed our bodies, you know, very, you know, we're advanced people, man. Like the way the body been constructed. And when anything foreign enters the body reacts, man. You get sick. It's a foreign, you know, something foreign in your body don't belong there. You start getting sick. You know, you got your white blood cells, your white red blood cells, and they fight off diseases. You know, they attack certain pathogens that enter your system, and they kill it, man. You know, it's the same thing with something enters the body. That's why they sterilize certain things whenever they puncture you with needles and stuff. Is because that can cause some serious problems within the body. Because things are not supposed to be going into the body, man, like that in the flesh. You know. So it can cause all types of things, man. You know, you make fucking, you know, infections. You know what I'm saying? You get an infection, and the worst kind of infection is to get the infection in the blood, man. If the infection gets in your blood, you can just get ready to die. You're gonna die unless you're in the doctor. They'll fight it, but you get infection in the blood. You're seeing death. And you got an infection out here somewhere on the top surface, the exterior, you have a good chance of, you know, fighting it off your own. But once it gets to the blood, you can't fight it off on your own. I thought that truck turned off. Like, God damn, how many fucking cars are stopping there? Their cars always turn off.
Yeah, they do that a lot though.
Yeah,
they do. I had seen it. Whenever they come up here, they just stop. They turn off their cars.
Yeah, that's fucking weird.
Yeah, I've never seen that before either.
Like, it's a fucking street, yo. Like, in my mind was like, I saw like 2, maybe 2, and I was like,
yeah, it's always right here. They don't do it on that one or on that one. It's always right here where they just stop, turn off their cars. Every time. It's weird. I noticed it too. But I was gonna say, I remember growing up watching SpongeBob. In one of the episodes, man, he got a thorn. A thorn got stuck in his thumb, and he was hiding it the whole time. You know, he didn't want anybody to see it. So he was hiding it, and he wasn't performing well. He was hiding it. Next thing you know, that thumb got big, man. That was a big ass sore in his thumb. He had a big old sore in his thumb, man. Until finally somebody took it out, and it was nothing but pus that was coming out.
Yeah.
It was nasty.
Yeah.
You You know, but that's just, you know, in the spirit saying how our body reacts to rejecting things. Man.
Yep. That foreign objects that enter the body, man. So yeah, it can cause sores. It can cause all type of certain serious ailments in the body. Get you jacked up, man. But that's not the worst part. The worst part is that you are pledging your allegiance to that image, to that beast, to the system, America, to Esau, Satan. And that's what's gonna get you jacked up by Yahweh Shem Shah. You're gonna be put to death, man. You're gonna be cast into the lake of fire. That's by way of the ICBM missiles.
That's right.
This is that one I was talking about with blood. This is Hebrews chapter 9, verse 16. It says, "For where a testament is," the word testament always is synonymous to the word covenant, all right, or promise. "For where a testament is, there must also of necessity be the death of the testator. For a testament is of force after men are dead. Otherwise it is of no strength at all while the testator liveth." So blood has to be drawn, man, in order for that contract to solidify that covenant, to solidify that agreement, that allegiance. Blood has to be drawn. So that's why Yahweh Shai, that's why the high priest would have the sheep or the goat that was of no imperfections, you know what I'm saying, or no spot, that was sacrificed for the sins of an individual, right? It was, what was it? It was blood that was being spilled, which was a foreshadowing of Yahweh Shai, because Yahweh Shai is the sacrificial lamb. So Yahweh Shai had to come in the flesh to do it perfectly once and for all. You see what I'm saying? Because it was through his blood that solidified that promise, the new covenant. The new covenant always pertains to the house of Judah and the house of Israel, which is the people of Israel right here, the 12 tribes of Israel. But that blood had to be drawn out in order to solidify and to seal up that contract, or in amongst those elect. Just like with Esau, that blood has to be drawn out. That's why the Most High said, thou shalt not make any markings in thy flesh for the dead, nor in any cuttings of the any markings on the flesh. Any print, maybe any type of prints and anything like that on your flesh for that. Because, like I said, it ain't talking about with paint. It's talking about actually drawing blood. Even scars. There's guys that they don't use ink. They'll get a knife or a razor. They'll put they'll cut their flesh and they'll put a name in there, and it looks like a big ass scar now, because they were just cutting it. They didn't use any ink. It was just straight using something to cut it, boom, 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 and it just looked like regular flesh, but it's just a big ass scar, whatever they put on it. You know what I'm saying? But that blood has to be drawn. That blood, like I said, for where a testament is, a covenant, an agreement, a promise. That's what the word testament means. New Testament means new covenant. There must also of necessity be the death of the testament. And that was Yahweh Shai. He's the one that died, but rose back in power. It says, "For a testament is of force after men are dead. Otherwise it is of no strength at all while the testator liveth." That's why Yahweh Shai said he knew he had to die. He knew he had to die for the sins of Israel in order for everything to be fulfilled. Else, nothing would be right, man. No? Things are being made right. That's why you're seeing a lot of brothers waking up. They're fighting for the truth. They're standing up in great boldness before the face of their enemy. Being seen by men, being made a spectacle unto the world, telling you what to avoid, telling you what to do to avoid punishment. To attend upon wisdom, to read the scriptures, to wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy salvation, the strength of wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, the strength of thy salvation. Man. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. Telling you that, man. Telling you not to take the mark of the beast, which is the RFID chip. You know? And you have to have faith in that, man. What it all boils down to is faith. Because anybody can say, don't take this, don't take that, do this, don't do that. But at the end of the day, whether you agree or don't agree, it still goes back to having confidence in what you're being told to do. So in order to accept the mark of the beast being the RFID chip, it takes faith, man. It takes confidence. A lot of people are scared. A lot of people are like, well, what if it ain't? Well, goddamn. One thing I used to tell myself about the law, statutes, and commandments was, I'd rather be safe than sorry. So whatever I was observing before I came into the truth, that's what I observed. I observed. Other people were saying, oh, you don't have to do that. The Lord did away with the law. But in my mind, I was like, I'd rather be safe than sorry, man. That's the kind of attitude you gotta have. Just like Zabak, you know what I'm saying? The house of Israel, he said, they asked him, are you gonna take the chip? He said no. But he's saying that a philosophy or Christianity is the mark of the beast. You know what I'm saying?
Hey man,
so
when it all comes down, like I know I've seen a lot of videos, Brother made a lot of videos about people from IUIC that they say that they're not going to take the mark of the beast. But that's why that scripture is there for, man. Wisdom to be the stability of thy time. Because if you don't know that it's the mark of the beast or not, you're going to take it eventually. Because you don't know if it's good or bad.
Yeah, and like I said, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. Well, in Revelation 13 and verse 18, it says, here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast. So you have to have understanding. What did Proverbs chapter 4 say? Get wisdom, but get understanding. With all thy getting, get understanding.
That's right.
So you have to have understanding in order to be considered wise. Because what is wisdom? The application of knowledge. So you can't have any knowledge without understanding. You have to understand what these things are. The RFID chip is the mark of the beast, man. And it takes faith to believe in that, though. Now, all men have faith. Many are going to be saying in that day, Lord, Lord, prophesying, we cast out devils, healing the sick. But the Lord's going to say, depart from me, you work of iniquity, for I never knew thee, man. You know?
That's right.
It's better to be safe than sorry, man. What's there to lose? What it is people have you have a problem with not being able to do what you want to do, or not eating what you want to eat. Because in that time, that means that you're gonna have to be selfless. You're gonna have to be 100% selfless in that time to be able to survive. You're gonna have to go probably days without eating, and may just try to find things to drink. Water to drink, because with water you'll be able to live and survive, man, longer than you will without food. Without water, you'll die quick. You'll get skinny, but hey, at least you'll have more time to survive and live, man. And that's a lot of people. People always just want to eat. They want to eat, but then they hardly ever drink. They don't want to drink the full cup that they got served. But they'll eat the whole goddamn fucking plate. But then they have the cup there. Probably took a few sips out of it, but they devoured that whole plate. And that's why a lot of people are sick, man, because their stomach is full of acid, man. They don't take care of themselves. They have an acidic environment in their stomach, man. That's what causes illnesses. It causes cancer. Because this is where the immune system is, right here in the gut, man. It's very important to drink a lot of water, man. And it's not just any water. You got to drink good water. You know?
Even people that don't eat for half a day, man, you'll see them and they'll be fucked up. You know, their head will be hurting.
Oh, we Talking about that don't eat?
Yeah, that don't eat for like half a day.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
People are just so accustomed to just having that food right around the corner. Hey, I'm gonna go get me something at McDonald's. Look at McDonald's. You know, and when they don't eat for even 8 hours, they'll be hurting, spinning.
Yeah, all pissed off, grumpy, getting all mad because they haven't ate. This is Proverbs 15:17. Better is a dinner of herbs where love is than a stalled ox and hatred therewith. But the point is better is a dinner of herbs. Some people, they have to have meat on every single plate. They don't want to just go eat a salad. You know, a poor man's meal. But really, a salad is a rich man's meal because that's where you're going to get healthy, man. But it says better is dinner of herbs where love is. You know, if you could be content with that, you could survive, man. You could survive. Scriptures talk about eating meat and what meat does. You know, and in that time, that's going to be a lot of people's downfalls because that they're going to be hungry, man. And that's what's going to force them to take that trip. You're going to actually feel the stomach pains, man. This is Sirach 31 and verse 19. It says, a very little is sufficient for a man well nurtured. See, very little is sufficient for a man well nurtured, man. Meaning he's disciplined. You know? So a little bit, he's good, he's content. It's like Paul said, I know how to be abased and abound, man. For it's the Lord that strengthened me. And a lot of people, and a lot of people have that tattoo. Philippians 4:13, they get that tattooed on their flesh and don't even fucking, they're not even strong, man. You know where it's at? Or it's right here. This is Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Well, let me start up in verse 12. I know both how to be abased and I know how to abound. Everywhere and in all things I am instructed both to be full and to be hungry, both to abound and to suffer need. And that's what's going to get you to survive in those times, man. You have to be selfless. You have to be disciplined. I can do all things through Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, which strengthens me. And a lot of these women, these men, they ain't strengthened through it because when they're put through that test, they're going to fold, man. They're going to be talking big and badass out here. I ain't going to take that shit. I don't think it's the mark of the beast, but I ain't going to take that shit. But once they start feeling that hunger pain, the first one they feel, they're going to be running over there to get a damn chick because they want a hamburger. Because they want some fried chicken. Some wings, Wingstop. You know?
That's right. Let me get this one in Joel. This is Joel chapter 2, verse 12. Therefore also saith Yahweh, turn ye even to me with all your heart, and with fasting, and with weeping, and with mourning, and rend your heart and not your garments, and turn unto Yahweh your power, for he is gracious and merciful, slow to anger, and great kindness, and it repenteth him of the evil. Man, I mean, the instructions are given to you, man. The instructions are given to you for a reason. And it ain't just so he can prove that he's high and mighty, man. All right? The instructions are given to you for your own benefit, too. All right? Yahweh Shai is letting you know. Don't take the chip, you know, and the Jacob's trouble. Don't go out there and fold like Esau did, man. That's the first thing that Esau did. He folded real quick. He didn't have faith in Yahweh Shai that it was going to provide for him. So he went running to Jacob. All right, now you Jakes are running to Esau when you get hungry. So Yahweh Shai is letting you know to, like the brother said, you know, discipline yourself. Deny yourself. You know, grow in that spirit, man.
Going back to Sirach 31 and 19. A very little is sufficient for a man well nurtured, and he fetcheth not his wind short upon his bed. Sound sleep cometh of moderate eating. He riseth early, his wits are with him, but the pain of watching a caller and pains of the belly are with an unsatiable man. Unsatiable man. Because he's greedy. He's always hungry. He always has to eat. He always has to drink. So he's gonna have those birth pains. He ain't gonna be able to go to sleep because he has to eat, man. You know? He ain't gonna be able to survive in the wilderness. You know what I'm saying?
Like in that movie, what was it? Too Fast, Too Furious? When that Judite, it was like, hey man, you got any food in there? Because that white boy was rich, man. He had a big old house. You know, he had a bunch of cars, and he was like, hey man, you got any food up there? We hungry. So they go over there and they eat, and they're talking business. And afterward, he tells them, like, man, I know you rich. I know you got money. Like I said, we hungry. You know, they want that money. They want that food. And Esau can only provide it for you by taking that chip.
Yeah, that's the only way. Going back to Sirach 31 and 21. And if thou hast been forced to eat, arise, go forth, vomit, and thou shalt have rest. My son, hear me and despise me not. And at the last thou shalt find as I told thee, and all thy works be quick. So shall there no sickness come upon thee. You know, and right now in America, everybody's sick. You know? And it's gonna be cannibalism in those days, man. These people out here are so used to just eating like fucking dogs and pigs. So in that time when they ain't got that food, they're gonna want to eat you. They're gonna want to eat you too. They're gonna want to, you know, it's all kinds of shit's gonna happen, man.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? They're gonna take the chip. You know, there's gonna be shortage of food in America. It tells you that, man. There ain't gonna be a lot of food like it was. This place is gonna shut down. They're gonna have the chip in the meanwhile, and they ain't gonna be able to buy or sell. So they're gonna resort to cannibalism. You know? They're gonna be doing all kinds of wicked shit, man. It says, "Whoso is liberal of his meat, men shall speak well of him, and the report of his good housekeeping will be believed." Right. So that was it on that. But meat is not always good to be eaten, man. You want to eat your herbs. You want to eat your, drink plenty of water. You know what I'm saying? Let me pull out this one in Daniel. I'll find it and have you read it. To go into the herbs, man. This is in the book of Daniel. Go to Daniel chapter 1, verse 14.
You guys know if there's a gas station around here?
Man, you know what? The only one that I know of,
Yeah.
if you keep, there's like a grocery store, I think right here, or you go all the way down and you turn left on Front Street.
Okay.
There's gonna be a store right up there.
Alright.
Appreciate it. All right, there. Go to just go all the way straight.
What was it, Daniel?
Daniel 1 and 14. So we're at verse 8. Daniel 1 and 8. Alright.
Daniel chapter 1 and verse 8. But Daniel purposed in his heart that he would not defile himself with the portion of the king's meat, nor with the wine which he drank. Therefore he requested of the prince of the eunuchs that he might not defile himself.
Yeah, so Daniel knew he wasn't going to defile himself with the king's meat or the wine, man. Alright, so he was already being circumspect. Alright, he was in the land of his captivity. You know, he wasn't there to fucking live it up. That's something we have to remember, man. We're not here to live it up as the heathen. You know? First seek ye the kingdom of heaven, and all these things shall be added unto you. What's going to be added unto you? The wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Now, how to conduct yourself in Babylon. Look at Daniel, what he did. He learned on how to conduct himself in Babylon. Go ahead.
Now our power had brought Daniel into favor and tender love with the prince of the Enoch.
And that's what he's going to do with us, the elect. Though we're not part of that number.
And the prince of the Enoch said unto Daniel, I fear my lord, the king, who hath appointed your meat and your drink. For why should he see your faces worse liking than the children which are of your sort? Then shall ye make me endanger my head to the king.
Yeah, so that Enoch was worried, that servant was worried about the king, man. Because that was a decree that he gave that servant to have the Hebrews, or those men that were chosen to eat that meat, to look favorable before they were presented before Nebuchadnezzar. Go ahead.
Then said Daniel to Melzar, whom the prince of the Enochs had set over Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah.
Those are the three brothers that were with Daniel out of the Babylonian, or that were taken into the Babylonian captivity.
Prove thy servants, I beseech thee, 10 days, and let them give pulse to eat and water to drink. Then let our countenance be looked upon before thee, and the countenance of the children that eat of the portion of the king's meat.
Right, so it said, give us water and pulse to eat. Pulse is vegetation, man. Greens, lima beans. Remember the Bonnie when he was showing us those light green beans? Light beans, that's what it was, lima beans. I just forgot the name. So all those types of things, lentils, pulse, spinach, kale, all these different greens is what they were eating, man. That's what Meshach, Sadrach, Abednego, and Daniel were eating, man. Go ahead. And it's going to show you how their appearance looked compared to the other men.
And as thou seest, deal with thy servants. So he consented to them in this matter, and proved them 10 days. On at the end of the 10 days, their countenances appeared fairer, and fatter in flesh than all the children which did eat of the portion of the king's meat.
Yeah, they look healthier. That's what it means, fatter. They look healthier. The other ones that ate the king's portion, they were the ones that looked fat, more plump, more swollen, because they had more less sodium and more alkali, man, in the body. So they look more fit. Look, but they had that good fat. They had that good muscle, the muscle tone, everything was right. The other ones, they look fat and swollen. It's like here in America, that's how we all look. You fucking eat this food, man, it fucks you all up. High in sodium, high cholesterol, Go ahead.
Thus Melzar took away the portion of their meat and the wine that they should drink, and gave them pulse.
Yep, gave them that pulse, man. Go ahead.
As for these 4 children, our power gave them knowledge and skill in all learning and wisdom.
So they knew what they had to eat. They knew what was good for their body. Yeah, because the Most High was dealing with that, with those 3 brothers, man. But that's just an example of what you have to get used to getting ready to eat, man. When there ain't nothing there. You can't be like a goddamn little kid. Little kids that see green. What is that? What is that green thing on? Like, what the fuck? Just eat the shit, man. Just because they see a little piece of green, spit it, whatever it is that's green on this cilantro or something, on a piece of meat, they don't want to eat it. They don't even want to touch the meat. That's how you got grown-ups that are out here that are like that, man. Well, there's no dressing. Hey, man. That's just how it's going to be. This is 1 Timothy's chapter 5, verse 23. Drink no longer water, but use a little wine for thy stomach's sake and thy often infirmities. But, we have to drink water. But that was Paul telling Timothy that when he's going through hell, drink a little bit of wine, man. Because Timothy was a young man. But because of what he was taking upon his shoulder, serving Yahweh Shai and ministering, he was a young man. Paul told him, drink a little bit of wine for that often infirmities, man, for what you're going through. For your illnesses, your ailments, or like you're just being weak. Drink a little bit of alcohol, drink a little bit of wine, and you'll be all right, man. So it said, I'm reading again, drink no longer water, but use a little wine for thy stomach's sake and thy often infirmities, man. So, but what I'm trying to say is that you got to drink water, man. You got something else?
No, you want me to go to Thessalonians?
Nah.
We're good on that?
Yeah, spirit went a different direction. So go ahead in the book of Sirach. Get Sirach chapter 39 and verse 24. Sirach 39, 24. You have to understand these things, because when that day comes, you can't say, well, there's nothing out there to eat. How am I going to survive, man? You got to let go. You got to let go of the world, man. You got to let go of like the scriptures say, give not thyself over, give not thy strength over to anything, man, or anybody. Your wife, your son, your daughter, as I read earlier in the book of Sirach. As long as thy livest, give thyself over to nobody, man. Don't give power over. Don't let nobody have power over you. And I said, including the government. You got to let go of that shit, man. You got to start applying wisdom. Start thinking. What are you gonna do when it gets cold out here, man? You know how to make a fire. Do you even know how to begin to make a fire? You may not be perfect at it, but do you know how to start making a fire, man? You know what type of wood to look for. Because they don't teach us this out here, man. You know what I'm saying? You gotta start thinking, man.
Give not thyself to diverse temptations.
Temptations, yeah. Yep.
It said Sirach
39 and 24.
This is Sirach 39 and 24. As his ways are plain unto the holy, so are they stumbling blocks unto the wicked.
So all his ways are plain unto the holy, man. All these things that we're bringing out are needful and vital into your salvation, to you enduring unto the end. All right, you got to count the cost. You got to know what you're getting yourself into and what it's going to lead to, man. This is a straight path, a road of difficulty. Our faces are all over the internet, man. You think Esau just going to let you come back into society and be a servant all over again? He's going to want to examine you, man. He may not even present to you the RFID. He may just want to torture you and put you to death. And some brothers may be tempted to that. But you still have to understand what's out there that you can survive, man. You can live off what is still out there on the land, man. You got cactus. It gives off fruit on it, man. Well, I know what it's called. It's called tuna. You got the red thing on there. You pop it off. Take off those spinas. You fucking eat the fruit that's in there, man. It's a bunch of seeds, but it's good for you, man. It's a fruit. A cactus thrives in the harshest conditions in the land, man. And when you think there ain't no food, there's something there, man. You have to have that knowledge. Like we read about Daniel. It said that the Lord rained down skill upon them, man. How do you get skill? By knowledge. By knowledge. You don't just have skill out of nowhere. Some people do have a certain skill. but they don't know how to explain that skill or that technique. So you have to have that knowledge. You have to have that ability. You see what I'm saying? So there's things out there, and you have to know that. Some people get weak, like, well, I don't know if I'm going to survive. You have to have faith, man. You don't have the internet for nothing. You don't have brotherhood for nothing. You can chew on mesquite beans. You got pecans out there. You know what I'm saying? You got all kinds. You don't always have to be meat. Like I read, that's why I read. You don't always have to be meat, man. You got your herbs. You know? There's certain flowers out there that you can fuck with down the line. You know? Go ahead.
Verse 25.
Read 24 again.
Verse 24. As his ways are plain unto the holy, so are they stumbling blocks unto the wicked.
Yeah, to the wicked, they ain't gonna want to do none of the things that we're saying. We're instructed on. You know, and meekness. We're being merciful unto you, man. We ain't like what they like to say about us on the internet, because they find a few videos with us rebuking the shit out of you. You find the elders rebuking and cussing the shit out of you. That don't mean that they're evil men. They're doing exactly what the Spirit of the Lord is on them to do, man. We go into the scriptures and read about the prophets, man. The prophets, they were greatly feared, man. Especially when Samuel, that was the prophet Samuel, when he went to go anoint David. They said, when they saw Samuel coming, they said, "Comest thou in peace?" You know?
Verse 25, for the good are good things created from the beginning.
Yeah, the good are created. Read that part again, Slide.
For the good are good things created from the beginning.
Yeah, the elect, man. We're going to know the things that are good. Go ahead.
So, evil things for sinners.
Go ahead.
The principal things for the whole use of man's life.
The whole principle of things for man's use of life. Go ahead.
Are water, fire, iron,
yep,
and salt.
yep,
Flour of wheat, honey, milk, and the blood of a grape.
yep. That's why. See?
And oil and clothing.
Right. Those are the necessities of life, man. Everything else is just extra shit. So you can't say, well, I can't survive. You can, man. You just don't want to survive. You want to be baby. You want to be carried by your daddy Esau, man. You want the chip. You don't want to give up the world, man. The lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, the pride of life. You love that shit, but that shit will get you killed, man. And it's not no easy death either, man. And people like that, oh, I can deal with that. No, you won't, man. You won't be able to deal with it. Those are the things that are important to our life. Water. It said the blood of the grape, as I read in Timothy, man. Paul told Timothy, man. No longer drink water, but a little bit of wine for thy stomach's sake, for thy often infirmities, man. That's for all you people out there that say you can't drink alcohol. You can drink alcohol, you gotta have temperance. You have to have a form of control, discipline. You know you can get intoxicated just by drinking water. Drink too much water, you'll fuck yourself up. You got something? But all those things that we read are good, are good for the elect, man. You know?
This is Isaiah 47:8. Therefore hear now this, thou that are given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly, that sayest in thy heart, I am and none else is beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. But what I'm trying to bring out is these people are too used to these pleasures, man, that they're given by Esau. You know, going to the corner store, eating some chicken nuggets and some fries. You know, they're too used to being unhealthy. I believe the USA is the #1 most unhealthiest.
The highest rate of people that are obese.
Obesity, man.
Yeah. Bring out Isaiah 65 and 11. So they ain't gonna be nothing to worry about in that time, man. If Yahweh Shem Yahushua is with us, who can be against us, man? You know? You gotta have faith in that too. You gotta believe in that. Every day you live, every day you wake up, you go to work, you hope that you don't get into a car wreck. And look, the Most High allows you to live. And you gotta have that same mentality. Some people just don't even think about it. You know? But you have to think, you have to start getting used to thinking like that. Like this could be your very last moment, man. There's times where I feel like the Most High is gonna kill me. There's days where I feel like I'm gonna die. And I'm watching, I'm careful. People are not like that. People are just fucking oblivious. They're fucking like just
careless.
Yeah, they're retarded, man. They're not paying attention to nothing, man. They're just walking. Dead men walking, man. You know? Matter of fact, there's a scripture. Isaiah. But you gotta have faith, man. You gotta believe that Yahweh Shai is going to protect you, man, and feed you, guide you.
Like in those movies, you know, when they like to say about the zombie apocalypse and all these things that they feel like are gonna come, it's already here, man. They are the walking dead. All right, Valley of Dry Bones. These people don't have that spirit, man. They're not in their right minds that they're supposed to be. And being in that right mind, that right spirit is the spirit of the scriptures, man. The spirit of truth.
I didn't find that one in Isaiah. This is Matthew chapter 8, verse 21. It says, and another of his disciples said unto him, Lord, suffer me first to go and bury my father. But Yahushua said unto him, follow me, and let the dead bury their dead. You see? Because these people out here, they ain't got the spirit, man. They don't have the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, which means that you're dead. Yeah, you breathe, you walk, you talk, you hear, you shit, you know, you do all that stuff, but you're really dead to the Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man, because you ain't got the spirit. The spirit is what makes you alive, which makes you a true being, man, a human being. Until then, you're just a walking fucking piece of shit, man. This is in the book of Titus. Salakia, what was I reading? Dead. Come, this is Jude chapter 1, verse 12. These are spots in your feast of charity when they feast with you, feeding themselves without fear. Clouds they are without water, carried about of winds, trees whose fruit withereth without fruit, twice dead, plucked up by the roots. So they're twice dead, man, meaning that they're dead as they walk, and they're dead to the spirit, man. They're dead from the spirit. You know? That's how you people are, man. And you'll never be able to come to this truth, man. Because you reject these instructions. You reject Yahweh Shem Yahushua at the end of the day, man. This is Proverbs chapter 21, verse 16. The man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. This is the congregation of the dead out here, man. We're the only ones, the brothers on the highways and the byways that believe in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai and that are rehearsing the righteous acts and showing our faith through our works are the only ones that are living, man. Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is the God of the living and not the God of the dead. You know?
That's right.
Go ahead and read that one again.
This is Isaiah chapter 65, verse 8. Verse 8, thus saith Yahweh, as the new wine is found in the cluster, and one saith, what verse was it?
Isaiah 65 and 11.
Isaiah 65 and 11, but ye are they that forsake Yahweh, that forget my holy mountain.
Two-thirds Negro, Latino, and Native American Indians. Read that again.
Verse 11, but ye are they that forsake Yahweh, that forget my holy mountain, that prepare a table for that troop, and that furnish the drink offering unto that number.
Drink offering. Right, read it again. Drink offering.
Salaki. Let me read up. That forget my holy mountain, that prepare a table for that troop, and the furnish of the drink offering unto that number.
To that number, man. Which is that mark of the beast.